Yeah, that was something.
Something, well, that's a word for it.
Like I said, 0 chance the Dolphins were going to win. Never a doubt.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.
All right, welcome back to the Buffalo Plus Podcast. Mike Catalana, Dan Fates, I am Jenna Cottrell. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We're going to talk about the Bills' win, everything that went into it, the things that they can improve. But first, Mike, a special announcement.
Yeah, we're going to be Lincoln Hill Farms in Canandaigua. That is next Thursday down there for our podcast. We're going to do the meet and greet 5 to 7. It'll be cool. I think they're supposed to have some food trucks, all the stuff to have some fun, maybe some music, and then our podcast 7 to 8, Lincoln Hill Farms in Canandaigua. We want you guys to be there.
First one was awesome. It was at the Thirsty Turtle. For everybody that came out, sponsored by Bud Light, awesome event. Hope to see everybody there.
And we'll be in Buffalo October the 9th at Riverworks. We'll tell you more about that.
Got a lot of stuff coming up. All right. Let's talk about this game, though. 31-21, the Bills beat the Dolphins in this one. Buffalo now 3-0. Wow. That was way more stressful than I think any of us, especially you, were expecting.
Yeah, it was stressful because they gave Miami opportunities to keep making plays. The third down defense was horrendous. It's funny. The stats said, this is comical, that the Bills were the number 1 third down defense in the league. If you take out the Jets 0 for 11, they were not the number 1 defense. I mean, the Dolphins were 10 of 15, and they were longer third down plays. They were Tua running around, getting it to Tyreek or Waddle. That was atrocious. And mostly, Dan, not only did it lead in times to points for the Dolphins, it kept Josh Allen and the offense off the field, and they really lost their momentum.
Yeah, that people were saying, oh, they're the worst third down defense in the league. It's like, well, statistically, entering tonight, they were the best third down defense, even though they gave up 40 points in the first game. It's Mike loves on pace guys.
Yeah.
In baseball, they hit 2 home runs the first game. He's on pace for 386 home runs. So yeah, not a good showing. And that's exactly it, Mike. It wasn't that the defense was just bad and couldn't get off the field. They allowed 5 third downs on a drive for the first time since 2016 was the next gen stat. They could not get off the field right before the half where you were thinking, oh, they're going to get a stop and Josh is going to double dip. They're going to get the ball, they're going to score real quick, and then they're going to get the ball at a half. That never happened, especially when the offense, for most of the first half, there were 3 drives, all felt great.
Yeah.
So it was very frustrating and backbreaking that they just couldn't get off the field.
I feel like in this game, you're right, every time the Bills defense had a big play, had a nice play, it was like, all right, third down coming up. What can they do to get off the field? And it was just those Tua, Jalen Waddle had a big game. Yeah. What was the issue you thought for the Bills?
I think it was a combination of things, but mostly, and I think Sean said it, they did not keep Tua contained and gave him more time. They were not getting enough of the pass rush. Even though they do get rid of the ball, on most of those third downs, he was moving around and making the plays, and it was bad. And I joked, they play the train horn.
Yes.
And I tweeted that they should just play a siren on third down for the Bills.
So bad.
Because it was an emergency. And you were scared to death every time they were on third down.
It was equally as bad as when we were in the Meadowlands and the guy goes, third down. And you're like, here comes the Bills' first down. That was the same exact feeling you had.
Brutal.
And it was, Jenna, that's a great point because I think about that Shaq Thompson hit. I think about some of the plays by Trey White early on at times, some of the tackles in space, and I was like, all right, this defense. And then there would be a play right after it, and that would get the first down, and you'd be left scratching your head. It was that frustrating night where they showed it in glimpses. It just wasn't consistent enough to get off the field, which is, I think what's also makes it even worse is because you have struggled on third down the last few years.
Yeah.
So this felt like, hey, maybe we got this figured out. Still a work in progress.
I was impressed tonight by how much fight the Dolphins had. I was not expecting that. I thought it would be a pretty lame team coming in here. You got to give them some credit.
No, I was never in doubt.
Okay, but you have to give them some credit that they played a lot tougher than you were expecting.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I saw my mentions. I saw you. Thanks for everybody that was including me in, saying that I had jinxed the Bills tonight. Everybody saying, where's that 0% chance you had of the Bills losing this game?
They didn't lose.
They didn't lose. They never trailed in the game. It was
They
never
did
a worry.
trail in the game. The Dolphins had
the
Dolphins had an
yeah.
opening drive touchdown.
Yeah, so the Bills did
So
them
if
a lot
you
of
take
favors.
that out,
Yeah.
Yes.
How was the play?
no, we're done with this.
I got it.
It was
I'm
Mrs.
so
Lincoln.
over
It was
that.
Mrs. Lincoln time. Okay.
So annoying.
Not really, but I gotta give you one.
No, I'm so over that phrase. Okay.
I saw Mike's face light
I'm
up.
like, oh, here comes the Mrs. Lincoln line.
It was like an alley.
All right.
So annoying.
Let's get this train back on the tracks. But you know the Bills. When nothing is working or the defense isn't doing anything, what do? They just take the ball away from the
They
other
press
team.
the turnover button.
They do.
I called it.
No, I tweeted it out.
Stop.
When did you call it?
I said Tua's going to throw an interception.
Oh, I mean when I tweeted out, this is the time for the Bills' patented interception.
I didn't know that.
Oh,
I tweeted it.
I think he was reading my tweet. What was great about the play, and it was the play of the game, outside of the roughing the kicker penalty on the Dolphins, but it was the play of the game, was that Al Holcomb, Bills' defensive coach, had gone over this, had shown the players this kind of play. Terrel Bernard studying that. When they saw it, they knew that was coming, and he told them, when you see it, go. And he did, and he had some help on that play.
I think Deion Walker, he's a very large human being.
Massive
but
human
tonight
being.
was, to me, a kind of a start of a breakout game for him.
Yeah.
It was the best he's played. Obviously, his rookie season took some time to get his feet wet, but today, on that interception, the pressure that he brought, that forced Tua, the throw, I don't think he saw Terrel Bernard, and Bernard was right there to make the play.
Yeah, and so I got a chance to talk to Deion afterward, and he was talking about, he said, when you guys see Terrell, tell him he's got to thank me, and he was laughing. But then I asked him, I said, well, you're in on the play in front of Tua. What did you think? And here's how he described the play from his perspective.
So I hit the move. As I'm running back there, I see him throw it. When he throw it, I don't even look back. I just hear the crowd start screaming. So I'm like, yeah, okay. Incompletion. Then I just see everybody running that way. So I'm like, oh, okay, let me go. But, it was a great feeling for sure. I'm glad that I could make a play in that moment.
Terrel Bernard added that he didn't really even see Deion make the play. He goes, he got to the sidelines, and Ed was the first one to be like, Deion caused that. He won quickly. It wasn't just one. And we've talked about this. He's not this just big body guy that is going to eat up double teams. He is the penetrator for this in the interior. So I thought that was really impressive because you saw that at times too. For as big as he is as a human being, on the opening drive, he got pushed back a couple times. It is shocking to have somebody be that large and then to be pushed back 3, 4, 5 yards. So you don't think about it, but that's because he's much more of that guy that can cause pressure from the inside, like Ed Oliver.
And I'm sorry. He also came in and got his hands up, and he said that I'm with my arms. I'm over 7 feet.
Yeah.
And you think of that, but they're rushing in a certain position quickly. They are taught. And it's got to be, that's a technique, hands up quickly. Tua's not a bigger guy, so it really did envelop him a little bit. And fortunately, he did get the ball off because it went right in. Do you like that one?
Yeah, it was good.
I'm trying.
Yeah.
And then they got the pick. So that was good. That was a really, really good play.
This team, and I know you talked about this with Will Manso, about bad teams find a way to lose and good teams find a way to win. And tonight, this just felt like another example of the Bills figuring out a way, backs against the wall, of putting it together at the moment that they needed to.
I think of two plays that stand out right away are the roughing the punter on Bill Burr. That's also the second one I guess the Dolphins have had, roughing the punter this season. There's only been 3 games.
Yeah.
So to have that was huge.
And it was Zach Sealer. He's one of their guys.
Yeah.
And the other one was the Bills got down to that end zone, and it was really bad, right over there, and Josh got blown up on a QB power.
Yeah.
And then unnecessary roughness at the end of it, so the play didn't really matter. They got first down again, and then they were able to score on the James Cook touchdown. So that, to me, those are 2 plays where, and Mike McDaniel talked about it too, we're finding ways to lose. Before you start to win, you have to find ways not to lose.
And how about the illegal man down the field?
That happened twice.
Yes,
happened
twice.
On quick plays. That, again, is technique.
Yeah.
That is
It's
knowing
coaching.
that pause. It is. And it is also execution by the players. They know what they're supposed to do, and twice they got called for it on decent gains that they had and had to bring them back.
Let's talk a little bit about the offense because there are moments where you're like, oh, this is the Bills' offense. Let's see them. They got humming. And then other moments where you're like, wow, it is just a slog for this team. Let's start first half. The Bills obviously were down because the Dolphins scored in the opening drive. But I felt like that was a really nice drive for the Bills right out the gate. And Dalton Kincaid had a very big night for him.
It's his most impactful game as a pro. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
I mean, he could have had 3 touchdowns in the game.
Yes.
He scored one on what I think is his best catch and run with the Bills.
Yeah.
He had another where he got laid out a little bit, but it was
Right,
close to the goal line, but he made a big play. And he dropped one that Josh dropped in the bucket as well as you can throw the ball. He's got to catch that one. Yeah. But he made those plays that he did. He also had a big block on the Shakir touchdown. And that's what they need out of him when he's on the field, and he wasn't part of the play. And so you got Hawes making catches and Kincaid making blocks. I tweeted, dogs and cats living together. That's the world we're living in here, right? Isn't that the opposite of what you expect?
Yeah, Jenna, you and I have both been critical of Dalton Kincaid and where he is. He's already matched his season high in touchdowns 3 games into the season. He's already got 2. But this is what I think they envisioned or hoped. And the evolution of him as a blocker has been impressive to see for me because I just didn't think he could do it.
Yeah.
And you don't have to be a guy that's going to be cleaning out defensive ends. But if you want to be able to lock on and make a block on a corner, and we can start there, that's a big step in the right direction. Because, Jenna, they are running a lot of 12 and 13 personnel. Sean has been kind of hinting at this, and Joe Brady's kind of also, when he took over for Ken Dorsey, was like, defenses are getting smaller and faster. Mismatches. We talked about creating mismatches. You can just do it not by the speed of guys, but the size.
Yeah, I thought tonight for Dalton Kincaid, this was a huge moment for me because he made not just one big play, but another one and another one. And just to see him be a piece and a weapon in this offense. I think you're right. I mean, he matched his, rookie season, the touchdowns that he had. There's still so much left in the season. For me, it's like, all right, how do you build off of this now? Because you had a really nice game, a really nice showing. But for me, I was like, all right, Dalton Kincaid, we have been critical. But tonight I thought he stepped up and he did a good job of it. But I also thought, you mentioned Jackson Hawes.
Yeah.
That dude is an animal out there.
Yeah.
Violence.
He loves that part of the game, obviously, and they use him a ton. I mean, he's the new Alec Anderson. They were going to. Yeah, he really is.
He is.
And the fact that he can catch the football, and I mean, we joke about it. Yeah. That means you got to guard him, right? You have to. I shouldn't say that, but like there are times when you see certain players that they might as well be an offensive lineman.
Correct.
Like they're not going to throw the ball to him. Well, they've gone to him a couple of times. The play that Josh threw to him, though, was...
it was so...
I mean, I was thinking of
like a perfect troll by Josh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's we talk about it. It's the big brother playing in the backyard against his little brother and his friends, and it's just like, I'll do whatever I want. Oh, just kidding, touchdown. Like, it was...
I think of it like he does so many things well. That's a Mahomes play.
Yeah.
And Josh is kind of like, yeah, I can do that. And he did. He waited. Perfect timing.
Yeah.
It was like he's a point guard and he just dished it perfectly. I thought tried it the second time. I think that was to Ray Davis.
It was to Ray Davis.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, he was feeling it a little bit.
Two
Heat
things.
check.
One was after that Jackson Hawes touchdown. Keon went to go grab the ball for Hawes, which was cool. And then you saw Josh waiting patiently because Dawson Knox was in there celebrating, and Josh was like waiting to the side to like have his moment to congratulate him. I thought that was really funny. And the second thing I was going to talk about was just this game at moments I was like, felt very Chiefsian. And I know we've used that word before of like, I didn't feel panicked at the Bills the entire time. A fan asked me, he was like, Jenna, what do you think? Are you worried? I was like, I'm not worried at all. I'm not worried at all. Were there moments where I was like, that's not great. That looks like shit. But I never thought that the Bills were going to lose this game.
I told you, 0% chance. And Jenna was like, don't worry, sir. Dan told us that there's a 0%
No. I was just
chance.
like, I'm not worried. It'll be fine. They'll figure it out because when this team has their back against the wall, they are able to do that. And did they get help tonight? Yes.
Yep.
Miami made some crucial errors. The personal fouls were killer.
Yeah.
But then also when they needed that, James Cook stepped up and Khalil Shakir had the huge touchdown.
Dan turns to me during the game and he goes, "Is James Cook underpaid?" James Cook.
Remember
really
when you guys
good.
didn't want to pay him?
We never did.
that is
That is so
Do you remember
wrong.
that? No.
Erroneous
You
on
remember
all
that.
accounts.
You sound like
No.
Dan when you say
I'm
that.
literally doing my best Dan Bates impression.
Erroneous on all accounts. We said we didn't
said
think.
erroneous.
Yeah, you
We
definitely can't
think
spell that.
we didn't think they would
Yes.
pay him. I never said they shouldn't. I
Yes.
said we
No,
didn't.
you said they shouldn't.
Nope. I said it'd be his last year and then
I
he
mean,
would move on.
you were
He
talking
looks-
a lot of smack.
Me? Never.
He was so close to 2 long touchdowns.
Oh,
They just tripped
Yeah.
him up twice.
Yeah.
And I thought he was going to take it to the end zone, and which would have changed a lot because
Yes.
one of those they did not score. It was when they went backwards
Mm-hmm.
before half. That was a real turning point in this game. They went
Yeah.
backwards on 2 plays, including Josh getting sacked.
Yeah.
And then it looked like a shot I hit at Ravenwood the other day.
I was gonna say,
that was
I'm-
a shankopotamus
Yeah.
a kick. That was atrocious.
Yeah.
And were you worried at all about Prater making the last field goal?
Nope, but that hit the over team total 30 and a half. Me and
Oh,
Carl Jones,
wow.
shout out to my boy Carl. We're both sitting there going, they better kick it. They can't go for it. They better kick it. They better kick it.
that's really
Needed
funny.
his 30
Uncle
and a half.
Dan, 4-1 tonight.
Oh, nice.
But there is the lack of complementary football in this game. That's what Sean's going to be harping on because they could have gone in and
Yes.
gone up 21-7 with the ball coming out in the second half.
Yep.
Drive stalls, special teams fails on the kick.
Mm-hmm.
Then you let them drive down the field. That was a great drive by the Dolphins. Took up all the clock
Yeah.
because they converted all those third downs and then scored. So that really made it a football game as opposed to what the Bills could have pulled away a little bit, and they never really did that. So credit to the Dolphins for being close, but they're 0-3, and they still
Yeah.
got a lot of issues. And they played hard,
Yes.
and they
They
were
d- they did.
competitive.
They played hard.
But you don't get points for that.
But
This
that-
is the NFL.
Yeah,
You
and-
got to win.
And that's the point, too, is I thought the Bills got punched in the mouth first. The
Yeah.
Dolphins came out, were very physical on that opening drive. But then I really liked the fact that they were able to, what seemingly felt like they were going to put them out at the end of the first half. I thought they were going to score points and then get the ball coming out of half. And they kind of let them off the hook. It was a little bit of the Bills playing with their food. But again, I thought Kincaid was great. I thought Josh was poised for most of the game. 3 touchdown passes.
But he finally broke the drought. He had gone
One
game
game,
without
yes.
a touchdown.
Yes.
So drought is over.
And then Khalil Shakir, Jenna, you called it on our TikTok before the game. You said this was the game that Khalil Shakir would break out. Got in the end zone.
I don't even think it was like a breakout game for him. It was just a
Khalil
big-
Shakir game.
It was Khalil showing up more than he has, and then to have the touchdown when the Bills needed it.
Yeah.
It was a beautiful touch. Like all those things that you wanted to see out of
Yeah.
the guy that has been talked about as being maybe the Bills' #1 wide receiver.
The offense finds a way to get to 30 points all the time.
It's
Still. I'm not critical of the results. The results are they are scoring and they are winning. My concern is at some point, could you make it a little easier on
see,
yourselves?
this is why
Bigger plays in the passing game.
we go back to the offseason and the Bills scored a lot of points last year, but when you watch the games, you're like, it was a struggle. At many moments, it was you had to grind it out, or Josh had to put on the Superman cape. Now tonight, I don't think he had to do that, but
Yeah.
there was moments where you're like, oh my gosh, it shouldn't be this uncoordinated.
One last thing on
Hey,
the
they get
offense.
paid. Hey, they
They
get
get
paid
paid
on the
too.
other side of the ball too, Jenna.
One
Two
la-
things can be true.
Yeah.
One last thing on the offense.
What?
They ran a slant to
He's
Keanu.
picking on me because I picked on him.
You two are both interrupting me. They ran a slant.
So
to,
Timeout.
I'm hurt now. To Keon, twice.
yeah.
That can be a very effective play. Last year in Seattle, the ball hit him in the head. Was it Seattle?
No.
Houston.
No, it was
Houston.
Houston.
Yes.
It
Yes.
was Houston, yeah. I
I'm
was on
only
the field
saying
for
that
one.
because that is a quick hitter. You're going to go right there.
It's
He's
a
gotta
run
be-
play called.
Yes.
Everybody's blocking as if it's a run, and Josh has the option.
Option.
Yeah.
And he did, and twice they hit him with it. So that can be effective in those like 3rd and 4s
Yes.
kind of plays to get the first down.
Elijah Moore had a couple nice plays
he
as
did.
well.
And he had one called back too.
He had
So,
one,
yeah.
but then
Yeah.
he had the big third down.
right after it.
So 2 things. I even tweeted, I liked that Josh threw that slant to Keon, because I think that builds trust.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Keon caught it.
Yes.
Like that's because no, but I'm saying like if that happens again, how much do you trust it?
Right.
Yeah.
So to have that moment, to Keon
fair.
for be prepared, I like that a lot. Also, hand up. If anybody wants to buy a bunch of Curtis Samuel stock, I will
You're
sell
selling.
it. I will sell it very cheap because I'm in way over my head and I just want to cut my losses.
Yeah. You're in trouble on that.
He's not can't even dress.
That's going to be a
The last time I saw
right?
Curtis Samuel was on the Bills' social media post about Snickers.
Yeah, it's not good. That's back-to-back years.
Yeah.
Wait. Last year you picked MVS.
Yeah.
Did he just admit he was wrong?
Yeah,
Yeah.
hand up.
Oh, okay.
He did.
Hand
literally- Hand up.
Way up.
Okay, anything else? Oh,
I don't think
your
so.
people.
Well, I wanted to mention a couple of people. Then you guys, Kevin and Sue, are in Alaska,
Shout out Alaska.
and they are coming to Western New York, and they're going to be here in a couple of weeks. And they asked for a restaurant recommendation. So
Cute.
You told them to ask Jenna?
No, it was to me.
Oh.
So we talked about Italian restaurants.
Oh.
And I gave them a couple good ones. And I think they're going to come to our appearance at the Pittsford Pub. That's down the
Lovely.
line. So shout out to them. And Mike Faber, Ithaca College, friend of mine, grew up in Rochester. He's
Nice.
coming back to town. He's going to try to come to our appearance, the one I talked about Thursday.
Lincoln Hill.
At Lincoln Hill Farms in Canandaigua. Watchers of the pod, enjoy the
Love
pod.
it.
So I mentioned them. And today,
And Douglas and Carolina came up to us. Very
Awesome.
sweet. They're
From Miami.
From Miami.
Yeah.
So that was really cool. We had a lot of people today.
my favorite part of that is he became a Bills fan at the first Super Bowl because he liked the Bills helmets,
Love it.
Perfect.
right?
I
I'm
always
sure he
love
was
fandom.
very little
Same.
at the time.
Yeah.
And Carolina, I said, did he make you a Bills fan? She said, yep. I said, were you a Dolphins fan? She said, yep. Is your whole family a Dolphins fan? She said, yep. I said, do you make fun of them?
Yep.
So they got the bragging rights for this one.
Never a doubt. I was never worried. I was right. Not about Curtis Samuel, but
2-1. 2-1. 3-0.
4-1 on best bets. Uncle Dan.
Uncle Dan's rolling. Tough first week.
Yeah, tough first week. Bounce
back.
Yeah, bounce back.
You're moving in the right direction.
Okay,
Yeah.
wait. Before we wrap up, sorry, I just remembered. We should probably talk about where this team is at now. They are 3-0.
Yeah.
They have the Saints coming up, another home game. They obviously play well here at Highmark Stadium. They have a little bit of rest. Where is this team at now looking at week 4?
I think that they have shown that they can win multiple ways, which is nice. Like that's how the Chiefs, the Patriots have found ways to do it. They kind of morph into whatever they need and what the game plan is. And they've always said that, but it's never felt sometimes like it's actually been
Yeah.
real and honest about it. But the way that James Cook has ran the last 2 weeks, the way that whether it's Keon and now Kincaid and the tight ends becoming such a versatile part of this offense has me encouraged. And this defense may not be very good. It may not. But there's something about them, this knack for causing these turnovers. They have now won the turnover battle in 25 straight games. That's insane. That's part of Josh's maturity is to not putting the ball in harm's way. It's some luck, but there's something about it.
I also think, too, that's not a mistake. That's not
Yep.
lucky. Like, that is a concerted effort on both sides of the ball to, A, force turnovers, and B, be protective of the football.
And especially with the way this one went, where they talked about tape study,
Yeah.
knew the play was coming. Rookie executes, then the veteran executes, and they get the ball. They've played 3 games. They've played against a very good team, they've played against a very bad team, and they've played against what I would consider a talented, mediocre team that they played today. They won all 3 of those. I am concerned with a couple of aspects, especially on the defense. They're not getting enough pass rush, and I don't like cornerback 2. Trey, it's tough for him.
Highs and lows today.
Highs and lows,
yeah.
but man coverage for him is an issue right now. But on the plus side, at some point, maybe Max Hairston can help with some of that when he comes back. Dorian Strong maybe getting more time on the field. I think you have to look at those things. And then, Michael Hoyt to help maybe with this is down the line when they get those.
Good point.
So they're 3-0 with some issues. So how's that?
Yeah.
We can't let him get off the hook tonight.
In what way?
Where was your boy? Didn't seal the end. The
Oh,
edge.
yeah.
I had to talk with him.
When? Before the game?
That didn't work, bud.
No, after.
Yeah.
No.
What'd you say?
He said,
Good job, buddy.
No,
You're making me look bad.
no.
Greg.
I said, listen.
Pull it together.
I said, it's not going great, but compared to Dan picking wide receivers, like, we're doing fine.
Yeah.
So I'm hanging on that half of a sack that he has right now, and I think the time's coming for Rousseau. He's gonna break out.
First, he needed help. He needs people to help sack people.
He didn't get his half a sack tonight.
No, he
he's behind.
didn't.
He's
It
not
was
on
Both-
pace.
Yeah. Also, the pass rush wasn't
No.
great, and on top of it, we don't think that this is a very good Dolphins offensive line. That was a little bit concerning. I don't know if that also plays into the short rest.
Yeah.
It wasn't their best performance,
No, that's true.
especially from Mike's guy.
But now they get a little
At
bit
least
of
his guy
time.
could dress.
You know what? That is true. Hey, he needs Ed
Hand up.
back there in the middle.
Yeah.
It's good.
Something to know. I saw Ed before the game. I felt like he was kind of, I don't want to say limping.
He
but
was. I saw him leave the locker room too, and I looked and I said, he's still limping. No walking boot,
No
Yeah.
walking boot.
but
yeah,
still limping. So
gingerly, I would say.
it's the Saints
Yeah.
next week.
I think the Saints, they play tough.
She's doing it already.
They
Dan,
do.
Zero chance.
Stop. Cut the shit.
Zero
Okay,
chance.
okay,
He's
you're gonna
so
piss
annoying.
everybody off. I do think the Saints play tough, though. But
Okay.
that being said, Ed Oliver seems like, seeing that, I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I think this will
This
be
was
slow
our
played.
wackiest
also,
pod ever.
Yeah, you can tell it's
1 a.m.
1 a.m.
Yeah.
Matt Milano was not put on injured reserve.
That's a plus.
I think that was a plus.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
The
Let's,
NFL doesn't have retroactive, right?
They don't.
That's
Like
stupid.
baseball does, where they could have said it. So if he were to go on, it's from now going
It's
forward.
missing
Yeah.
5 games.
That tells you that that's not in the plan.
Yeah.
Unless it was,
I
well,
love-
I didn't must think that it was really bad.
Yeah, but I loved
Sorry,
Sean's
shoulder.
when he was asked about it. He's like, he might be able to practice this week. Could it be long term? Could be. You're
Yeah.
like,
Well, that's what that's
Range.
the concern.
Yeah.
When I said that it's not going to be short-term IR,
yeah.
yeah.
but there's the other one if it's
Yeah.
bad. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see when he comes back.
Our wackiest pod by far.
Yeah. Bills will have some rest coming up. So will we. So hopefully we'll be less wacky. All right. Tell them one more time about Lincoln Hill Farms.
Lincoln Hill Farms coming up next Thursday.
just say Thursday.
Canandaigua. Yeah, right. Because, tomorrow, well, you'll
Yep.
watch this
Yeah.
on Friday.
It is Friday.
It's in Canandaigua. It's a cool
It is
place.
Friday.
If you go on, we put a post up that has, you can find the directions to it. I think they're going to have the food trucks. It's Bud Light sponsoring it. Might have a band there and us.
Cool.
So what more do you need?
I think there's fat heads of us.
That's wild.
That's wild.
Mine are just regular.
Pre-fat head.
They're just, your guys' heads are enlarged and mine's just normal.
Yeah, you don't
Large.
need to have. Yeah, you already
Yeah.
have a big head. All right.
See, I'm self-deprecating.
Yeah, that works.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Is that the right term?
Yes,
I
yeah.
know.
For Mike and Dan, I am Jenna. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share. We always appreciate it. Over 40,000 subscribers. Thank you so much. Bills now 3-0, 31-21. They get the win over the Dolphins. We will catch you next time here on the Buffalo Plus podcast. That was drunk. That was drunk.
I was thinking.
Not high.
This is the Buffalo Plus Podcast.